Y'all tuning in. Let's keep this thing moving along. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Oh, the conversation everybody here has been waiting for.
Here we go.
Boy, everybody loosen. What's going on in the back there? Yeah, there's some weird stuff in the back today.
No,
here we go. We going Sith Lord here?
I'm putting my Lord.
Are we going Sith Lord here? I'm putting my Lord up.
Yes, it's time to fight.
She looks like she played in Friends.
Hey.
What up, Jake?
Not touching that. I catch it.
On this episode of How Does P Kid Try to Get Us Taken Off the Airwaves?
We just got back.
I said she played in Friends.
Just got the money.
I didn't say anything.
We just got the money. No, Kaitlyn Clark has been left off of the Olympic roster for the WNBA and for the United States women. And there are a lot of people that are up in arms about it. Very upset, feel like she has been screwed over in her time in the league, that she has been beat up in her time in the league, and now feel like her being left off of this list is another sin on women's basketball that has not been taken advantage of. Everybody speak at once.
How about we just take
We'll direct. We'll direct.
Yes. So
Kid is one who believes that.
Why'd you do that? Like that?
Because
Jesus.
That's right.
That's how you feel?
Kid is one who believes that Kaitlyn Clark should have been on this roster. I am one who believes that she should not have been on this roster. Kid, the floor is yours. Why do you feel like Kaitlyn Clark should have been on the Olympic roster?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Kaitlyn Clark is one of the premier players that brings the viewership to their sport now. For years, we've been talking about how they did not have the support, things of that nature. Now you have the players, the storyline, and all the entire nation behind it. And if we get behind it, which we have, then internationally that name carries weight as well. Kaitlyn Clark's most viewed games, guess what? She's broken the first three national games, broke records. Guess what's going to happen when she plays internationally? Or if she plays internationally, she's probably going to break records. It's about growing the game, not necessarily about the talent on the floor. I know that's kind of like backwards, but let me introduce you all to the business of basketball, because it happens more times than you think. Right now, they're building that brand. When that brand is established, if this is an NBA thing where it's locked and loaded, you're fully cooking, guess what? Heck no, she don't belong on that list. She's not the best hooper on there. There's not one person I would take off that list for her from a talent perspective right now. But when it comes to notoriety and building that brand and from the marketing aspect of it, you can't leave the country without her.
I would say she should be on that team. I mean, the whole complaint is about, I should just second what you're saying. I don't have to really expound upon it that much, but the point is that for her to be on the squad, you're complaining about getting paid, you want the notoriety, you actually have guys paying attention more to this, to the league. I mean, the thing is, like we talked about earlier, a lot of times, why do we all watch the sports that we watch? There's a form of relatability. There's a form of something that we like.
A star.
Well, the star players, there's entertainment value. It's all those things that's tied to that. So for her to be able to be the shining star that you add to this league, it does make sense. But it's just understanding business. The fact that even that what she's going through in the WNBA, I'm fine with her getting taught, being a rookie and getting roughed a little bit, but it's the intentional harm type stuff. And it's the jealousy of like, I don't know, I get the notoriety and I had to work this hard. It's like, you're not selling tickets. This person is, and that's what they're in the business to make money finally. And you guys are going to mess up the product.
For years, it seems like what you hear from a lot of the women in the WNBA is, we're not getting the same contracts as the men. We're not being put in the same position to win as the men as far as marketability and being able to have as many eyes as possible on our product. Now you got a unique opportunity to have all the eyes around the globe on your product. And not only do they have the opportunity to see this, it's so many little girls that are trying to imitate this woman, Kaitlyn Clark. And you're going to allow her to just sit at home when you could just use this opportunity to milk the cash cow as much as possible to be able to ride the golden goose to the promised land. Like literally, you got an opportunity. There's so many people that don't watch WNBA basketball before this year have now tuned in. I mean, the Washington Mystics game just the other day? 20,000 people sold out. They had to move to the Washington Wizards arena because they couldn't hold the amount of people that wanted to attend the game in their normal arena. This is what is, listen, stars sell the league. And in 92, When Michael Jordan was leading that roster, guess who got left off that team? Isaiah Thomas. Probably arguably the best point guard in the league at that time. He got left off that team because Mike didn't want him on there.
Magic got a little.
Well, you got to factor in star power.
Magic got a little disease
Magic was
there. That's really what. That's really what.
Magic's retired. Larry Bird is laying on the ground with a broke back, but they were selling stars. They were selling that to the world. Get Jordan. Get Jordan.
No, let Ringo go.
He wants to.
I just okay. So for me, I don't think that she should have made the team. I've been seeing a lot of people say that. Well, she's having.
I feel like you changed that opinion.
I said that she shouldn't have made the team. I've been seeing a lot of people say that she's been having. What is happening?
I'm sorry.
I've been seeing a lot of people saying that
we all need
she's having better seasons than some of the people that are on the list. But nobody's talking about she's basically averaging just as many turnovers as she has assists. And if we're talking about growing the game, I mean, you pretty much got all the people that you need on the list right now to grow the game that are up there. You got Stewie, you got Aja Wilson, you got all these people. And my thought process is like, I get that you're trying to milk the cash cow. I get everything that Calvin and Pete Kidd are saying, but at the same time, I'm not just gonna basically give you this opportunity just because people want to see you. Like you gotta earn it.
Can I make a quick comment real quick? It is so funny. Like we've seen, like we talk Bulls, we will lose people like that. We still got folks rocking with us. We're talking Kaitlyn Clark.
No white people on the Bulls that are talented.
Jordan, what's your take?
Alex Caruso?
Alex Caruso kind of white though. You know what I mean? Like Alex Caruso
kind of white.
Alex Caruso. Hey, Alex Caruso just got a leg tattoo of Kobe on the left leg, holding the trophy. And he also Alex Caruso won an NBA championship with the Lakers. It was a major reason.
He's doubling down
Kobe
on
his leg.
He's doubling down on the comment. The comments of Pat the Designer do not reflect the entirety of this crew.
It don't matter. Pat the Designer's half white.
Hey, does not reflect the entirety of
That is true, right?
I get to make white comments. White. I get to make black comments. Black. I get to make Puerto Rican comments. Close enough. I'm just playing. I'm joking.
That's my department. Hey, you don't talk.
Oh, here we go. But no, I
don't like the way you say no.
Jordan, go ahead. Jordan back there. Jordan back there looking like he about to conjure up Dormammu out here.
He about to cook. Let's see.
Mom's spaghetti. Knees weak, arms are heavy.
Dog, all right.
But on the surface, he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps saying, the whole crowd grows so loud, he opens his mouth. But
don't get Pat started. Jesus. He's going to say the whole 8 Mile.
The fact that that's the 8 Mile ending and not the actual song.
I'm going to start out with the stats.
Snap back to real. I didn't mean. I'm sorry.
I'm going to start with the stats. I'm going to start with the stats first. Kaitlyn Clark is averaging phenomenal numbers, right? When you look at it, right? When you see the numbers, you're like, oh man, she's dominating, right? 16.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, 6.3 assists. She's shooting 37.3% from the field. As much as we talk about how awesome she is as a shooter, and she's Steph Curry-like when she was in Iowa, she's shooting 32.7% from the three-point line. She is also turning the ball over more than anybody else, as Ringo mentioned.
Hey, it is impressive how many turnovers she gets. She like 6 turnovers a game.
She has 6, bro. It's almost
like
6.
You would
it's
think, like you would think, and this ain't hate to her. This is just numbers. This is how basketball goes. 6 turnovers a game, like with Russ, right?
That's terrible.
Russ would have like 6 turnovers a game, but he would have like 19 assists. So you'd be like,
that's true.
Okay, well, you trying to throw like 25 assists a game.
She's getting a different defense than every other player.
Turnovers than she has rebounds. That is a fact.
She's not getting played. First of all, okay.
She has more total turnovers than rebounds.
No, I'm not mad. I'm just going to debunk what you all are saying because you're saying she's getting played defensively different than anybody else.
I didn't say that.
What are we talking about? Every rookie has been getting played the same way. People get double teamed all the time where they're talented. That's not the point. The point is, if we're talking about expanding the brand, right? You do that within the league. That was the whole point, is when she comes to the WNBA, you expand the league that way. You have to earn your way onto the Team USA. And by all accounts, everybody's name on this list that we're looking at has earned and been there and done that. If you want to market the WNBA, what do we usually do? You mentioned Michael Jordan's name earlier. You usually market the best player in the league.
But
Who is that? Asia Wilson.
But Jordan.
That's who you market. You don't market a rookie who was great in college and is now going to have a learning curve to get to where she probably needs to be. I'm not saying she's never going to get there. I am never a hater of Kaitlyn Clark. Kaitlyn Clark is going to figure it out. But to sit here and say that she just deserves a spot on the Team USA roster, by all accounts in the rankings that we've seen, she's not even the best rookie right now.
Who?
They got Cameron Brink ahead of her. They got Rakia Jackson. They have Angel Reese ahead of her.
She is.
Who? What?
Who?
What'd you say, PK?
No, she is.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm
Joel
saying
and
is,
Calvin being disrespectful out
if
there.
she and that's my point.
Hey,
See, y'all making arguments. Y'all don't even know the people that's playing.
My
You're
favorite,
right.
No, my favorite part of it is Joel and Calvin sitting here saying who, and they don't even watch NBA basketball.
I watch NBA.
I watched the finals. Asia Wilson has gone off recently. Really?
Hey,
Asia beast.
Asia been going on.
Joe's sitting there. He like, Derek White pretty good. Ever since he's been starting lineup in the finals. Like, he been starting all season, bro. He's been in the starting lineup the whole year. No, who did you say? Who did you say? You did say it was somebody in the playoffs.
Who?
I think it was Mike Conley. He was like, Mike Conley's on the Grizzlies?
No.
Oh,
who was it? You said
on Minnesota.
You said it was Minnesota. You said it was somebody. I forget who the player was, but he was like, he's there. I was like, Joe, he got traded a season and a half ago, bro. Like, what are you
Didn't you say James?
No, it wasn't Rudy Gobert. He knew Rudy
James
Gobert.
I couldn't remember. No, I knew he was in the Clippers.
No. It was James Harden.
You said James Harden.
No, it was.
I
I said, Joel, who's the Clippers point guard?
Yes.
Right.
And you didn't know.
Yeah, I forgot.
He said
Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
Literally, James Harden is their point guard.
He wasn't wrong.
Anyway, continue.
Here's my last point, guys. Here's my last point, because we're going to compare it to other rookies who actually made the Olympic team.
Where the fine ones at?
Diana Taurasi, CP3, Candace Parker, Breanna Stewart. Here's their resumes when they came into the league. Candace Parker was coming off 2 straight national championships with Tennessee. She won Rookie of the Year, and she was the MVP in her rookie year. Kaitlyn's not doing that with Asia Wilson on here. Breanna Stewart, Stewie, came off of 4 straight national championships in college. She's a winner. Diana Taurasi was coming off 3 national championships and was 6th in the league in points per game. All of this said, Kaitlyn hasn't done any of that. So again, as I said, if you want to grow the brand around the people that have been there and done that, and also grow it around the best player in the league.
Let me ask you this. I just have this one thing. Let me ask you this. You see that list right there?
I do.
Give me one person whose viewership is rivaling Kaitlyn's right now.
It should be Asia Wilson, but you know why?
No.
But because
one person on the list whose viewership rivals Kaitlyn's.
Here's why you know why that's not a good argument, because you know the media and everybody else in the world are trying to force feed us Kaitlyn Clark. That's why they played the most games like to start the season, like within a week. It was like 8 games in 1 week.
Yeah, they was.
I'm like,
crazy.
what are we doing here? They're force feeding us to make her the face of the league when you have better players right now that should be being promoted, and they're under promoted.
That's because that's what the viewers want.
I think.
I'm not
Everybody
wants Kaitlyn to be the face of the league.
But there's a reason that
you are representing an
Can I get my
anecdotal
point?
minority with it, because at the end of the day, the most people who buy those jerseys, buy those tickets, and fund these things, guess what? They look like her.
And they're coming to the games. This isn't a forcing.
I don't have the percentages
forcing
on
on TV is one thing versus people coming to the games.
And
there's a draw that she
And you know
has.
what's a good thing about influence with this? You know what? We can use this with Steph Curry. You know why Steph Curry is more influential than LeBron James? Because there's a lot of people who there's nobody who could dunk
they would
like
like
LeBron.
to shoot. They don't have the measurables.
But I
like
could go
LeBron.
out there potentially believe that I could shoot. I may never get there, but the game has changed because of that. Guess what? Women may not ever be as tall as Brittany Griner, may not have the stature of Asia Wilson, but they may be able to shoot like.
But
she's
6 feet.
She's not the first shooter to come into the league.
Listen,
she doesn't have to be.
Hold up.
I mean, there was a whole
First
Dr.
off,
J before MJ. He didn't get the viewership. The game grows.
The game
Sabrina
grows.
Ionescu is a beast at shooting.
I was gonna say
Like,
Sabrina Ionescu is the same thing as Kaitlyn
For sure.
Clark.
And
Yes.
she don't get, but
And
she
actually-
don't get the plug.
And actually, she's better.
She's
but
better. She don't get the plug.
Here's my thing. I get what your
She didn't get the
argument on
plug.
viewership. I get your argument on talent. I don't believe she shouldn't be on the team because of the distraction that would bring. Because guess what? What'd you say? There's nobody on that list that she's better than, right?
Oh, I agree with that.
Okay. If you're the head coach and there's nobody on that list that you better than, when's she gonna play?
Garbage time.
Okay. Good job. So now you got everybody sitting there upset that she didn't get utilized in Team USA. Also, everybody breathe. Let me finish my point since y'all been yelling for 30 minutes.
So I was saying,
You shut your goddamn mouth. I want to hear you talk. I shut my hand up your back and you work your mouth like a puppet.
I didn't know where he was going.
No,
for a
that
second.
was
Other guys.
other guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that
All
movie.
All right,
I
cool.
gave my heart.
Oh, here we go.
No, we're not gonna start it. But no,
You talk about my ADHD.
but no. Here's
Jesus.
the thing. So I see some people in the chat. Let her be Christian Laettner.
I cut his mic. He didn't even know.
Go. I felt it. All of a sudden, my voice didn't have as much boom. I see some people in the chat. Let her be Christian Laettner. Christian Laettner got on the dream team. We do remember that by the end of that, there were a lot of people that was like, we shouldn't have put Christian Laettner on the dream team.
Shaq should have been on that.
There was a lot of people that was just like, we definitely shouldn't have put Christian Laettner on the dream
that
team.
might have been
But
Krzyzewski or
with
Who remembers that 30 years later?
everybody remembers that Christian Laettner was on that
Oh
team.
yeah, everybody.
No, I'm saying
There's no person that doesn't remember that Christian Laettner was on that team.
no one argues like, oh, Shaq should have been on there. It happened. It's
A lot of
done.
people made
It's
that argument.
gone.
he was a dog
A
in
lot
college.
of people made that argument.
He was a
But I think here's my point in all of this. Y'all talk about protecting the brand.
Building the brand.
No, protecting. She's the brand. That's what Joe said. You got to protect the money. Protect the money is what you said. Then you don't send her over there. Because I will tell you this right now. You think the WNBA is rough? Go see how them women play over there.
You don't want to get her exposed.
If you put her out there in garbage time and I'm kicking your butt and you supposed to be the star of this league,
That's a good point too.
I'm going to put you on your butt for no reason. Why? Because we going home.
Yep.
Protecting the brand don't just go into, we need to put her in bubble wrap and make sure that she's there so that people tune in to watch the games. Protecting the brand means that you have to understand what the competition she's going into. It's a much more physical World
What are you
Women's
talking
League
about,
than
dog?
it is a WNBA league.
They beat the brakes off everybody.
My boy, this is what I'm saying. You don't watch women's basketball. You didn't watch the women's
So the
Olympics last year.
And
The women's Olympics last year.
It is a physical.
It's a much more physical
it's a very
world
physical
game than it is in America.
But you're also making
Remember when KD and all them went over there and they was sitting there the first few games. They ended up losing a couple. They won the tournament, but they was getting their butts kicked.
Joe, you're making the point.
If you're sitting there putting her out there and you don't want to put her in a position to get hurt here in a league that she's gonna have to adapt to because they're gonna bump her around. That's just how this league is physically, right? Then definitely don't send her over there. I think on top of that, you would do more of a disservice to the women's team by playing her in garbage time than you would actually putting her out there. Now, for the argument of, well, ain't nobody tuning in to see Diana Taurasi. Why the heck would you put Diana Taurasi on the team? It's called leadership.
Yep.
Diana Taurasi is the leader of that team.
Yeah.
Dog.
Diana Taurasi is not the person you take off of that team if you want to put Kaitlyn Clark. By the way, she's the only one numbers-wise because this is not a league where it is a, what do we call it in the NBA? Position. This is not positionless basketball.
No.
There are positions. Brittany Griner's the center. Alyssa Thomas is center forward. There's no guard you're putting out there that is worse than her.
True.
And if you take Diana Taurasi off of that list, now you took a portion of that leadership off of that.
Well, nobody said take her off.
That's the only player that's close enough to Kaitlyn Clark's stat line to even remove off the list. Technically, right now, Kalea Copper's a forward, but she played guard here. How did you take her
by the
off?
way, 27-7-7.
She's a forward on this team.
27-7 in the double OT win last night.
she's
I had her as a guard.
Yeah.
No, Kalea Copper just on Team USA goes in as a forward.
Dude, they
It's-
mopping the floor with
but
these.
my-
They're beating them out by 20 points.
My point with all of this is that you're doing more of a disservice putting her on the team than just letting her figure out how to play her game. you're doing more of a disservice to her and putting her at more risk by putting her on the team, by putting her in garbage time. They finna dominate. They finna go out there and be up 20.
But I also think that's the opportunity
to
actually put more eyes on it. It's just the marketing aspect of it. I don't listen.
I hear you on marketing. She's the only one that's gonna get the viewership like that.
So
110%.
This is an opportunity from a global perspective for you to put out your premier product while giving them what they want, which is Kaitlyn Clark. Again, I'm not saying she's better than, because this is more for the chat, not you. I'm not saying she's better than anyone on this list. I don't think she is. Yeah. I think she has a long way to go. But it is about growing the brand in the monetary aspect of it. And it's too big of an opportunity to miss while you're in this unique position to have this. I mean, realistically, they have never had this much attention before.
Never.
No, they have.
They've not this much.
This is
early on.
The
early days
the WNBA's never.
I
mean, when it was a novelty in the beginning, but right now,
like
Pat, they had attention.
This is the best chance you get right here, man. If you get all the heat right now, everybody's focusing on this product right now. Now's the time to strike.
What product are we trying to grow?
The brand of women's basketball. How good that sport is.
Okay, women's basketball. This is an America problem. This is not a world problem. Women's basketball is heavily supported in every other country.
That's a fact.
Right. This is an American problem, right? So which brand are we trying to grow?
The global brand.
Are we no? Which brand are we trying to grow? Are we trying to grow US? Are we trying to grow US women's national basketball team or the W?
Really, all of it. But honestly, the W is the main focus.
No, we're trying to make your point. You know, the W is the focal point.
It doesn't.
But
Team USA is not a part of this.
But listen, at the end of the day, Jordan, I heard your point earlier when you were saying, basically, there's other players on this, like Asia Wilson, who you could build the brand around,
product,
who's a premier product. That's true. Then why is it that they haven't been able to build it before?
Because that's the W's problem. That's not the players'
the
problem.
WNBA is terrible.
They're backwards. As PK said earlier, they're backwards.
Listen, we know this here in Chicago. Remember when we all found out the WNBA All-Star game was here?
I was literally having breakfast across the street from the spot. I had to look down. I was like, oh, it's a women's event. What's happening? Oh, that's the women's all-star game. Bro, what?
Exactly.
We found out by being in the city. The W does a bad job of promoting, which is their problem, and it is a problem that they need to take advantage of. But the goal is to grow the W. The goal is not to grow global women's basketball, because you can't grow a brand that's not popping here in America yet.
How about this? Okay, to your point. Okay. After though the Olympics, especially with the Dream Team, what other countries became like a huge supporter of Chicago Bulls?
Australia,
and I think South America had a few countries.
Philippines, yeah.
What happens is those players also, there's people who are going to attract. If you're able to grow the brand out like that, either the WNBA, but now the Indiana Fever ends up getting a whole uptick in another country that's going to rock with them. Like, it does help. So the whole point is just, it's all about learning about business, entertainment, marketing, all those things in totality. There is true. Now, of course, there's the pure form of basketball. We get the X's and O's. That's really what the WNBA is all about. A lot of people say, if you want to see some good basketball, go watch them WNBA, because they have to play in a team sport. They don't have as much of the athleticism as the men's sport does. So they have to play with more fundamentals. So people that really appreciate that will probably, look for those things. But she could help bring more exposure to the entire league, to the state of Indiana, to whoever else. And it brings more attention to all these other ladies, because it's like, well, now you're right. Asia Wilson is pretty good, or Breanna Stewart, or Kelsey Plum.
Here's the problem. You don't do that if she don't play.
But she'll play.
It doesn't do that if she doesn't play.
Here's the thing. I see where you're going.
Who's your backup guard on this team?
James Juju?
That's an unenviable position for whoever has to coach that situation.
No, but what I'm saying is, who's your backup guard on this team?
Now, Juju's there.
She's not over the backup guard on this team.
Kelsey Plum and Sabrina Ionescu.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's my point. Like the point that you're going to be up 20 and you're going to play your backups.
She's not over.
You're not playing your backups to your backups.
Well, it's also one of those things where when you know you have the weakest link, and I hate to put it this way, you can let her start and then let your best players finish. Because
why?
Bro, they're going to put her on her butt.
Okay,
It's
my
the
fault.
marketing
Okay.
of it. I've
Okay.
already leveled with you and said she's not the better than anybody on this list.
Hold on.
But it's the marketing aspect of it. What do people want to see? They want to see Kaitlyn go against international competition.
How do you think that's going to fare with the team within itself if they see her starting?
That's an internal problem, just like it was an internal problem with Isaiah and everybody else. No one really cares about that.
It wasn't an
if we're
internal
gonna be honest.
It
with
wasn't
you.
an internal problem with Isaiah because Isaiah wasn't there.
Look,